What's up, Anthony?
Good. Not enjoying the weather, but it's nice to be off for a couple of days.
Yeah, hanging out with your son.
Yep.
We got Gavin up here. What's up, Gavin? He's got his dinosaurs. He's happy.
Yep.
All right, man. So how's the fishing been? I know you've been crushing those red snapper.
Fishing's been good. The current's been slacking us off a little bit on the fishing, but we're having to work a little bit harder for them. It's a little bit easier to get them when we have less than 12 people, but with the 16 guys, we're still weeding through them. A lot of the guys do not want to keep the 18 to 20 inchers, so we're having to throw those back, unfortunately, and get the bigger ones. But we're still coming home with our limit just about every trip.
Nice. And now, how are the gags?
The gag bite's been little off, unless you get out to the deeper water. This last trip that we did pre-front, we were actually getting them pretty good. Had a lot of break-offs, but we ended up getting quite a decent amount of gags.
Yeah, I know everybody's so excited for gags to open, but it seems like in the month of June, if you want June, July, August, September, it seems like if you want those gags, you got to go past like 180, almost 200 foot to find them. Is that what you're seeing? Yeah,
from a lot of the people that I've been seeing and talking to, a lot of them have been going out past the 200 mark to get them, and just when they're getting a handful at a time. Some people are getting their limits out there, but they're only targeting just gags. They're not coming back with any red snapper.
Hey, Gavin, hang out up here. He's fast.
Yeah.
Besides red snapper and gags, what else have we been seeing out there?
A couple trips when I've been able to get out to the 190, 200 foot stuff, I've been getting the scamp too. We're getting quite a few scamp. Red grouper are coming up. Other than that, mango bite was pretty good. A couple of trips. Mango bite's hit or miss. A lot of people want to focus on that more than the grouper. It's kind of one of those things where you get half the boat that wants to do grouper, half the boat that wants to do mangoes. So you got people that are sitting there fishing with double hook rigs, some people that aren't, and sometimes those people that are fishing the double hook rigs are trying to use that 40 to 60 pound, and unfortunately they are breaking off on the gags because they are getting the lighter leader bite.
Yeah.
So it's creating a little bit of an issue with that, but everybody's happy.
In your perfect world, when someone comes out fishing on that 12-hour extreme during this time of year, what would you recommend tackle-wise?
I would recommend 100 minimum, just because you don't know if you're going to get that big gag bite. If you're going to get that big gag bite and you only have 60, then it's going to be one of those things where a lot of the people can't handle it. A lot of the people are going to break them off, and unfortunately that's going to shut down the spot, so we have to move and waste more time. But ideally it would be 100. And right now with the current, which we're actually on the backside of the new moon, so the current should slack. But we've been doing 8 to 10 ounce leads with 100-pound test leader line, and we haven't been breaking them off for the most part.
So 100-pound test, 100-pound leader, 8 to 10 ounce lead, like what, a 10-aught hook?
10-aught hook, pretty much 10-aught hook, single circle hook.
And what's the best bait that you've been seeing out there?
Surprisingly, it's just been a dead single thread fin. A lot of people are using the live baits, and a lot of the live baits are getting a lot of the smaller fish. A lot of the gags that we have been catching have been coming on either strips of bonita or a single thread fin.
Strip of bonita or a single thread fin.
Yep.
The strip of bonita seems to be my favorite bait because you can get those big fat red snapper on them, you can get the gags. It seems to really weed out a lot of those other smaller fish.
Yeah, you'll get some of the smaller fish with them too, but the good thing about it is it'll stay on the hook a lot longer too, so if you miss that bite, you always have bait, pretty much.
Yeah, so the strip of bonita is working better than the live bait in your opinion?
In my opinion, yes it is.
Nice. And now for red snapper, your perfect... Hold your dinosaur? All right, I'll hold your dinosaur. What kind of dinosaur is this?
Hey, that's my dinosaur.
Anthony's other son's in here. What's up, Carson?
There's one that's a corner. And there's one that's a monocle.
He knows his dinosaur almost as much as his dad does fishing.
Go to mom. Hey, go to mom.
All right, so as far as the red snapper goes, what would you recommend tackle-wise for your red snapper?
A lot of, me personally, when I do the red snapper fishing, I like to do the double hook rig. I'll do double hook rig and I'll do a single thread fin and try to go down as slow as possible. What we've had the people doing is drop it all the way down to the bottom, crank it up about 10 times, and that's when we're getting the bigger fish. And then when the current is going to stop, we're going to start doing people with knocker rigs, like, you know, quarter ounce, half ounce, even ounce knocker rigs, and trying to get those bigger snapper that are up off the bottom.
So I've always noticed the biggest fish are either at the bottom or top of that school of fish. So like if you pull up on a spot, you see a red snapper show goes up to 80 feet off the bottom and you're in 200 foot, you really want to be fishing at like 120 feet down. Is that kind of what you're seeing as well?
Yeah, pretty much. We've been getting a lot of the shows that are up higher. Obviously, I tell the people when we stop, it's like, hey guys, if you guys want to catch a grouper, drop all the way down. You're going to catch some red snapper too on the bottom, but they might be a little bit smaller. If you guys want to try for the bigger red snapper, go ahead and crank it up 8 to 10 cranks and fish right there. Just let it suspend right there. You'll get the mangoes, the yellowtail, and the red snapper with it too. Hopefully the bigger red snapper, which majority of them have been bigger red snapper up in the water column.
So this is deep water that you're doing this?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, I haven't been able to get out past 200 because of the current. So I've been really hanging between the 150 to 180 mark. And once this weather is done, I'm actually going to start pushing out to the 200s.
Nice, nice. I know we have a full moon coming up. That full moon kind of does the same thing as a new moon with the current. Now, I know on the new moon, we kind of had that loop current kind of push in a little bit. So what is your opinion on this full moon coming up?
Really, I mean, when you get the bite, you really got to capitalize on it. I mean, I see a lot of people not capitalizing on the bite that they're getting, and unfortunately we are losing quite a few big fish. Either people trying to change positions or people saying, oh, I'm in the bottom, and they're just not committing to it. So you really just got to commit to reeling and getting the fish up off the bottom and just not trying to change position. I see people going from left arm to right arm to the gut to left arm. It's too much movement. You're gonna give the fish more opportunity to get into the bottom, or they are gonna have more opportunity to pop off.
So when you feel that bite, you gotta already be ready. You gotta have the rod where you want it, and you just gotta commit. When you say commit, what do you mean?
You just gotta keep reeling. Don't stop. I mean, if you have to use a rail, I mean, all of our boats have these big rails. If you don't have the big rails, if you're on your own boat and all that, you can always put your leg up like this, put your rod right here, and just keep cranking. You know, sometimes that leverage is all you need. And if you don't want to do that, you want to just power through it. You just gotta keep powering through it. You don't stop reeling. Don't say, oh, I'm on the bottom, all that. You gotta commit.
Keep reeling until he's in the boat.
Yep.
All right, very cool. Any parting tips for these guys?
Stay safe and kill all the red snapper.
Book now and book often.
Yep.
I know you got some spots left in July on your 12-hour extremes.
Yep.
And those spots are gonna fill fast.
Yeah, those are. I think that's the only stuff that we have left for the Flying Up 2 in July. I think all the days are full of charters. So if you want to get out, you got to get out on those open boats.
Yeah, the Flying Hub 2 has a few days open in June on 12-hour extremes. In July, we have a couple days left for private charters. We have a bunch of 12-hour extremes with room. But what people don't realize is a lot of times, even though a trip's sold out, sometimes we have these last-minute cancellations.
Oh, yeah.
So you got to pay attention to those trips, because Anthony wants to try to bring as many red snapper as he can home, and he needs all of you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's true. But yeah, I mean, the first 3 trips of open boats, I think we went out with 15 people because people canceled last minute. So you never know.
Yep. Keep checking those reservations. All right, man. Well, I appreciate your time, Anthony. I'll let you get back to your kids.
All right.